Hello. Okay, so today, first of all, apologies, it's gonna be a voiceover. I was sick. Sore throat, not happening. Okay. Today we are going to be recreating Lady Gaga's most recent makeup look. This has been honestly, it's kind of started from the Joker, but it's really carried into her whole Mayhem era. So I'm going to be starting off by prepping my under eyes. These are the caffeine under eye things from masks from Sephora. Everything will be linked down below. And then I'm using Hindash Canvas fluid in Canvas to prep my eyes. I'm starting off with my eyes, even though this look was pretty simple, to be honest with you. I wasn't worried about a ton of fallout. I just mostly wanted the skin to look flawless. So I decided to start off with my eyes. And honestly, I think it's one of my favorite ways to do my makeup. So I'm setting the powder, or I'm setting with the powder. And then I'm going in with my Etude palette. This is the Creator Contour palette, which is the lightest one. I'm using the contour shade to begin with. It's a really beautiful contour color, especially for my skin tone. If you've watched my videos, you've seen it a million times. I am using those two images that I showed you previously as my inspo, so I'm kind of combining them. One, it's a little bit lighter on the lid, one is a little bit more like her skin tone, so I'm just kind of taking liberties. Again, as I always say, fit it to you, fit it to your face shape, to your eye shape, change things so that they work for you. But one of the things that I am focusing on mainly here is you can see I'm really utilizing that plane of skin between my lid and my eyebrows, okay? Very slowly going in with that contour shade, then dipping into the slightly darker, warmer shade to really build up that contrast. You can see I'm really creating that lift to the eyes, because if you look at Gaga, her eyes are so foxy. She has these beautiful upturned eyes, and mine don't do that. So I'm trying to kind of cheat that by emphasizing this area and really emphasizing the lift. Then I'm going into this e.l.f. palette to use the black shade to start to build up a little bit of a smoky wing. It's pretty soft, which I love. I just think that this look is so incredibly flattering, and it can work for a lot of different people, which is amazing. So I'm just gently kind of building up the wing. You can see I'm really taking my time with this. I'm using one of my favorite little brushes just to kind of sketch it out. I really like doing this with a powder first, especially if you have a difficult time with a liquid liner, because it just kind of it's really soft. It's easier to clean up, and you can kind of take your time. It's a little bit more forgiving. And then I'm going back in with that bronzer shade to just smoke it a little bit. Trying not to take it super far out. I'm not trying to blow it out like crazy, but this really emphasizes the lift to the eyes, and it also helps to kind of thicken up that lash line, really create a beautiful cat eye. I have to say, I think Gaga's eye shape, the shapes that Saratano does on her eyes is just universally so gorgeous. I just think that it's so perfect. Highly recommend, if you like it, you should try recreating it, because it's just this might be one of my favorite makeup looks that I've ever done. It is simple. There's some steps. I took my time with it, but yeah, it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So connecting that wing up a bit into my faked crease that I'm creating. And then I'm gonna be going into the lightest highlighter from Hindash. I'm using the slightly more golden side on my lid. So this is kind of pulling from that image where her lid is a little bit lighter. I was kind of looking back and forth, and I was like, oh, is this a little bit too light? But honestly, I think it's really stunning, and this highlighter is kind of perfect for it because it is very sheer, has a really beautiful I want to say glow from within, but it is kind of highlighty, if that makes sense. Really just it makes the eyes glow, which is what I love. I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury, what's it called? Flawless Filter. Just to kind of prep. I wanted glow in the outer perimeter of my face around my cheekbones. And then for the center of my face, I'm using this, is it Milani? Yeah, Milani primer, which I talked about in a recent video. I told you guys I was excited about it. And I have to say, I've been loving it. I've been wearing it ever since. So I focused this in the center of my face. It's really great for kind of filling in pores and making things smooth without making them too matte, And then I am applying my Lisa Eldridge skin tint. Bro, 1.5, I swear to you, now that this exists, it's the only thing I want to use. Like, I cannot get over how perfect this match is for me. I'm applying this with the Fenty foundation brush, which is okay. I'm kind of like trying out different brushes for it because I think it applies a little bit better with a brush than like a sponge. A sponge just kind of like soaks it up. Regardless, taking my time. Obviously, as always, I start in the center of the face, which is where I have redness, broken capillaries, you know, darkness. And then I'm moving into my contour, which I'm using the Sephora contour, which you also have seen a million times. Listen, Gaga has a really, really defined like jawline compared to me. So I was really going in with the contour. Okay. Switching over to Anastasia Beverly Hills to do my cheekbones, which, by the way, somebody told me that they're discontinuing Fawn. So if you need to pick it up, pick it up. I don't know if they're just like discontinuing the stick in general or if they're coming out with new shades. I don't know, but I just went and I bought two. They're discounted, so get them while you can. So I am now contouring my lips, my little, you know, lipstick mustache, and contouring my nose. And I kind of like, this isn't necessarily like inspired by Gaga. I kind of just like fit these to my face, you know? It's just something that I really like to do. If you don't want to do it, if you feel like it looks muddy, you know, people have their opinions about it, don't do it. Skip this step. It's a lot easier if you don't feel like you need to contour your nose, you know? Might as well skip a step if you don't think you need it. But it's something I just can't live without. So this is also from Etude, this little contour stick. I think I got it on Amazon or something. And then I'm using my Kosas 0.5 neutral concealer to conceal and also sort of brighten around the center of my face. I'm going to be using a different shade underneath my eyes because Gaga is quite bright. She has a very, very pale skin, just like I can relate. So she is glowing, all right? She's highlighted. So going in, doing a little bit around my nose, always the center of the face to just kind of like, you know, build up a little bit of coverage. I am wearing a skin tint, but I want the skin to look nice and natural. So I'm not going in with too much. You can see I'm taking my time, slowly building it up, really focusing in those areas and making sure that things are blended. And then I'm going in with a color corrector, which I use NARS Nougatine concealer to go underneath my eyes. Because one thing I was really worried about is my dark circles have been dark, okay? And Gaga has bright under eyes. And she doesn't have a whole lot going on in the lower lash line, you know? So now I'm switching over to my Rare Beauty concealer. This is 100W, which is a little bit more on the yellowy side. It is the lightest concealer, so I'm really using this to highlight my under eyes, taking that up the cheekbone, along the sides of the nose. I'm going to take that a little bit underneath the nose, kind of connect it to that other area, and then pop a teeny little bit on the forehead as well, just to like really highlight that area. Like we got a spotlight. And then I'm doing my little trick with my D'Alba spray, which a lot of you, if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it above, where I talk about creasing. This is so many of you guys picked up the spray and you've been loving it for this little technique. It just helps to prevent creasing, hydrates the area. It just like sets everything. It's so beautiful. And then I'm building up a little bit more contour, just because I'm like looking at this image. Okay, she's got cheekbones to dye. So like, you know what I mean? This is makeup, okay? We're painting. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of my Huda Beauty Pound Cake powder to set underneath the eyes. I'm making sure that everything is nice and blended first. Then I'm going in and brushing away things that might get stuck in my crease. And then I'm going in with a puff to apply the powder underneath my eyes. Really, really focusing on setting it. I want to make sure it's nice and smooth, but I don't want it to look cakey, which is another reason that D'Alba spray really, really helps to really hydrate that area, keep things nice and like light. I'm going in and spot concealing. I was just using a little bit of my Kosas concealer that I showed you earlier, mostly because you'll notice in this video, I don't use any bronzer. Like there's no bronzer on my forehead. So I'm really keeping the skin light. So I'm just I didn't feel the need to mix it really. So I'm just using that one concealer, just doing a little bit of spot concealing, and then going in once again with my Huda Beauty powder and my puff to set the rest of the face. Always focusing in the center of the face where I tend to get a little oily, and then just slowly kind of like blending that into the outer perimeter of the face because her look was relatively matte. It's not like so glowy. It was very like smooth, very flawless. All right, taking a clean brush, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm kind of like blending around those edges now that we have the rest of the face on. And then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna pick up that contour powder and I'm gonna do a little extra blending. This is such a beautiful color for this because it is very, very light. So it works really naturally with the natural shadows of my face. So it's just like a great option to kind of just like blend around edges. And I'm taking a little bit of that in my inner brow area because it just kind of looked like she sort of had that going on. Full disclosure, not going to be bleaching the brows. But if you want to see a video on that, I can do that. I just tried to kind of like create the essence. I'm going in with this Buxom blush, which I absolutely love. It's a gorgeous color. I'm using my first design of my brush with Rephr. If you were one of the lucky 500 people who got a sample of it, then you can use it with this in this way too. Using that to apply my blush because I just love it so much. Oh, I don't know about that little alfalfa. That messed me up, bro. Anyway, popping that on the cheeks, keeping it a little bit higher, close to the contour, but up high on the cheeks. And I didn't want it to be too bright. And then just dusting a little bit on the nose because I think she had that. Going back into that contour color, okay? Taking that on the lower lash line. Again, beautiful natural color for my skin tone. So just kind of like, using that to just soften things down there so that we're not seeing all of the like redness from my under eyes. Blending up into the upper wing. And then I'm going to dip into that bronzer, darker bronzer color and focus that a little bit closer to the outer edge of the eyes. Pretty standard for a lower lash line, It worked nicely for my anatomy, but like I said, she didn't have a whole lot going on there. You just want to make sure that they're connected so it doesn't look like so disconnected. For the inner corner, I'm just extending a little bit. I'm using the bronzer shade and just kind of like extending that inner corner, making it a little bit more foxy looking. And then I'm going in with this Huda Beauty pencil, kind of just like poking this at my lashes to like thicken up the lash line. And I'm taking this like almost all the way in, but I didn't want it to go up onto my lid. You know what I mean? So just kind of like trying to thicken up so that it all looks like connected. Buffing anything out that might have like popped up on the lid, and then I am using that to deepen up that shadow that we initially put. I am going to be finishing with a liquid liner, so it's a lot of steps, but it really makes a difference. You'll see in the end. Okay, now I'm going in with a liquid liner. I believe this is KVD, the waterproof liner. It's a beautiful brush. It's very, very pointy, and it's also waterproof, so it really stays put. And for me, I personally like a brush. I just feel like it's like easier to get that detail that you want. So yeah. And also the wing was like it was pretty small. We're keeping it like kind of kitten wing here, Probably could have used my Lisa Eldridge. Sorry, I had to get like real close. And plus the camera kept going out of focus. That was very annoying. Curling my lashes, okay. Rephr Lash Curler, OG. Somebody mentioned that I should curl like the tip of the lashes first and then the base, so I've been trying to do that recently. And then I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury mascara, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna pop on some lashes. So whenever I do that, I like to test a new mascara. It was pretty good. It didn't really like hold my lashes up, but if you don't have to worry about your lashes falling down as much, it is a pretty nice like thickening mascara. I liked the wand. It was good. And it was definitely very black. I wanted them to dry before I popped on the lashes. I had these pre-stick under lashes that we're going to be going in with. The ones from Velour. Are they here? No, they're not on my desk right now. But I shared them in I think a new makeup video, and right here I'm just popping on a little bit of Bare Minerals Well Rested because I wanted to make sure everything was brightened. That's all that was. Sometimes I do that. Okay, Glossier. I guess we're doing lower lashes first. Listen. I don't know if you can tell, but I am still kind of sick. It's been a minute since I filmed this video, so I don't even know what the hell is going on. Anyway, I've been using matte brown mascara on my lower lash line because it was a tip from Nikki Makeup, not Nikki LaRose, Nikki Makeup on Instagram. And I liked it. And plus, Gaga didn't really look like she had any lashes really going on the lower lash line. Anyway, these Velour Lashes are fabulous. They're a collaboration. I'm obsessed with them. I'm using all of them, basically, like 2 of the longer ones and then 1 of the spiky ones on the inner part. So I used 3 on each eye. Gorgeous. Obsessed. Did exactly what I wanted. Like, and they're also, they're like pre-stick. So you just like pop them on underneath the lashes and you're good to go. You know what I mean? Like, win. Pears soap. Classic. Like I said, I'm not doing the bleach brow, but I did kind of want to like create the essence, so I'm keeping the brows light, which is why I'm saving them for the end. Usually I would start my brows earlier than this. So going in and just setting naked brows with soap. And again, obviously I'm using her images as inspiration, trying to like, you know, lift the brows a little bit because she definitely has that like that lift going on. And then I'm going in with NYX Brow Tint Pen. I believe this is in the shade, soft brown? Taupe. No. Taupe. Cool brown? I don't know. It'll be linked. And just going in, I'm focusing on the top of the brow to, once again, lift. Everything's about a lift, okay? With this look, Gaga is so lifted. Like, she just has these beautiful eyes. And then slowly building it up. And I think I kind of filled them in a little bit more than I wanted to. But this was just kind of like freeform, you know? So like, I don't know. If you want to bleach your brows, go for it, dude. If you want to wear a heavy brow, go for it, dude. Like, all of it will look beautiful with this makeup. I'm using a little bit of setting powder around my lips so that my lip liner doesn't slide around, because I was wearing lip balm. And I'm just going in and creating the shape. I'm looking back to her image because I do like to try and like emulate the lip shape when I do celebrity recreations. But to be honest, it wasn't so different from my own, the overlining and everything. So I just kind of like stuck to what looked most flattering on me. But I always take my time with shaping my lips, always. Hello, what is it called? Something Fru? Amour Fou. Fru, oh, I can't remember. The Bisou Balm from Violette. If you saw the video where I was like trying to find my perfect lipstick. After that video, I was like, this is so perfect for a Gaga look. Like, how beautiful is this? It looks so much like the lip she's wearing, which I think Sarah Tano said that it's all House Labs, but I don't know. And then I'm just going in with a slightly darker, warmer lip liner just to do a little bit of contouring. It wasn't super necessary, to be honest with you, but I just like to use a million products. So it's what I did, you know? Can't just use one product for something. I need to use at least three. At least 3. You know what I mean? And then I'm going back in, setting a little bit more just to make sure that it all stays put. And then for my highlight, I'm using Auric. This is the, is it Daybreak? Her Sam's contour palettes. I'm obsessed with this highlighter. And from the image, her face didn't look like so highlighted, but I feel like Gaga always has like a really beautiful, like natural dewy, like glow, at least on her cheeks. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Like, I felt naked without a highlighter. But it didn't feel right to do a powder highlight, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm taking this around the rest of my face. I did not hit the brow bone, but I did do teeny little bits on the inner corner, just around where I like extended that inner corner, the sharpened inner corner, just to kind of like highlight it and give a glow, a little bit more glow to the eyes. Then I'm going in with this Fenty mist, which I've been loving, by the way. Very good, keeps your makeup set all day and night, okay? But it doesn't manipulate it. It doesn't make you look dewy. It just like, however your makeup looks, when you apply it, it's gonna look the same. I love that. Love that. And this is the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you gonna give this look a shot if you're someone who posts on Instagram or on social media in general? Please, if you post anything, tag me so I can see your recreations. Yeah, I love it so much, truly. I feel like you're going to be seeing me wear this look, like this shape, a lot. but in different colors, because now I'm so excited about like spring and summer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and comment and like and become a member and blah, blah, blah. Turn on notifications and all the stuff. Let me know what you want to see next. If there are any other celebrity recreations that you would like to see. And I'll see you in the next one, my dude. Farewell. Click.